Right. No, no. Let me lead off by saying I'm no doctor by any means. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. Okay. And I'm going to speak fast because I'm trying to keep this as short as I can, and it's not going to be short. But anyway, I'm just a regular guy that has walked through it, walked the line, walked through the fire, has been through it with other people, with friends, with individuals. So I speak strictly from experience, and I also speak from a place of compassion. Again, I'm very passionate about it because I've been there, I've done it, and I know it can be done. Okay, so it was brought up, and we were talking about, I mentioned the other day about setting our future, setting my future. Okay, I can't predict the future, but I can set my future. And we got to the subject, and it kind of went to, people that have that future. They've done the work, they've set their future, or people that they're in a situation and a new future is given to them, a better future. We'll put it that way. Just a better future is there for them. Okay. And my experience with that, walking through it, because it's about a 7-year process for me right now. So, and here's what I see. Here's what I see is that it's a beautiful, fancy, sparkly, just amazing life. Okay, it's a better life. And so it's an easy first step because we're not scared of it, right? It's an easy first step. Either we set it, is manifested, or it was something that gets us out of a situation that we need to be out of, right? Follow me? So that first step is easy. Now, what happens is I see people take that first step. Here's where I see them stop. Here's where I see them hesitate even, is they realize moving into their new future, moving into their new life is going to require them to step out of their old life and leave it. Okay? Sometimes that means leaving people and or a person. Sit with that for a minute. All right? Now, I understand I'm not insensitive to the fact. I understand nobody wants to hurt people. Nobody wants to leave someone. I mean, you probably love this person, love those people. You have connections. You have, bonds. You've created bonds with them. You may even have kids with these people, okay? And I'm not condoning anything. All I'm saying is the facts are the facts, and this is true for those for whom it's true, okay? And I've been there. I've been there, all right? So this is the first time this is when I see people stop and be like, and a lot of them won't go any further. They'll turn around and retreat right back to what their old life was, and they'll stay there. And I will say this, is that anybody that I've ever seen retreat or not move on, when given the chance, I have never seen one, not a one, as a happy person now. They're all miserable, every single one of them, and that's a fact. Now, understand in this moment, right before this new life, this better life is presented to us, pay attention to the people that are brought into our lives, that are introduced into our lives. More than likely, those people are going to be our helpers. They're going to be your helper, okay? They've been through the fire, at least somewhat of the fire, and they understand a little bit better than you might, okay? Now, also understand, I said this before, is I had to go through it alone. I didn't have a helper. I had friends and I had my kids that would support me, but I did not have a helper. I did not have somebody that was going to hold my hand, that was going to guide me, that was going to motivate me, that was going to pull me up when I needed pulled up, that was going to pull me by my bootstraps out of the crap when I needed it because I couldn't do it for myself. I did not have that person, okay? And here's why. I was meant to dive as deep as I could go into my hurt, my pain, my traumas, okay? I had to go to such depths, there was not a person that could have gone with me. All right? Now, what that means to me, what I know it to mean, what I know it to mean is that when my person is presented to me, when we are to come into a union together, is that she is going to need me to support her in the depths that she has to go. I cannot rely on her to support me, okay? You make sense? Do you understand? She's always going to support me, obviously. But I had to go to those depths by myself so that I'd be able to go there with her. And I said in my gym videos, I work out. I said, I need to get this body right, this mind right, the spirit right, because there are people that depend on me. She's going to depend on me. Physically, my body needs to be in top form because healing is exhausting. If you're doing it right, healing is exhausting. absolutely exhausting. Okay. Now, as I said before, I've seen people at this point, they've turned around, they've stopped, they've retreated back to their old lives. Let me say this, and we've all heard this. These are things that none of us have not heard. You cannot heal in the environment in which you got sick. You cannot heal in the environment in which you got sick. I am not here to save, heal, fix anyone. I'm here to save, heal, and fix myself. I can be a help. I can be an encouragement. I can be support. I can hold your hand, but I cannot do the work for you. All right. Now, leading on, the people that understand they're going to leave their old life behind, and they do that. All right. They move on closer to their new life. But this, again, is where I see people stop at this moment now, because now what they're realizing is, oh, I'm still required to do work, and this is more work. This is more difficult work. Why is it more difficult? Well, because now you're stepping into a new timeline. You are ascending. You are moving into a different level. You are leveling up. So you're going to approach, or you're going to revisit your old wounds, your own pains, your own traumas, your old traumas. You're going to revisit them, but from a different level. You're also going to be faced with new traumas, and new hurts, and new pains, whether they're brought on in this moment or they're ones that you had to get to this new life before you could face them. Okay. And again, I will see people abandon this new life. I'll see them turn around. I'll see them retreat back to their old life to repeat cycles. I will see them repeat cycles. And again, I've yet to see one person that retreated back to their old life, because that timeline is done. There's no time nor space there for them. And so what do? They repeat the cycle, they repeat the cycle, they repeat the cycle. Not one of them is happy. I don't care what you tell yourself. They are not happy. I've not seen one happy. Okay. So, and this moment is, like I said, when I tell people, or they'll ask me, and I'll tell them, look, we have free will. We're allowed to do what we want to when we want to. You can go back there. You have every right to go back there. That's your choice. But I will tell them this. If you choose to go back there, if that's your choice, know this, that retreating back, at that moment, you lose all rights to complain about the mediocrity of your life from that point on.